Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. Well, this story will start with I'm going to show you some parallels between two governmental administrations. One, and you may not want to work for. There's been chaos and disruption in both of these administrations. One is President Donald Trump's first term. And after his first term, there were several people that were indicted, even convicted on criminal charges. And also the president even got indicted on several charges, President Trump at the time. But who is paralleling and may have an even more corrupt administration than President Trump's first term is got to be Mayor Eric Adams. There has been nothing but chaos and disruption in his term as the New York City mayor as we speak, and his administration, and people are falling by the wayside one after another with federal indictments, one behind the other, and even Mayor Eric Adams got indicted and here a year or two ago, and then here recently those charges got dismissed. What is the other parallel with Eric Adams and President Donald Trump? Both are from New York and have been involved in governmental politics. Eric Adams is an ex-police officer, has been involved with politics and working for the city and its governmental agencies for years. And of course, we know Donald Trump is from New York, and he became the president. And now he's on his second term. But Eric Adams, his administration is falling by the wayside one after another. And now you have a young lady, black female, Ingrid Lewis Martin, who was charged with some other, or indicted on some other charges late last year. There have been some new indictments against her here recently. What is happening in New York? We know for years, New York has been clouded with this chasm of corruption for many, many decades. And Eric Adams and his administration is falling apart. And this is unfortunate for this Miss Ingrid Lewis Martin, who is caught up in an FBI indictment, and along with her son. So let's get into it. Ingrid Lewis Martin, New York City Mayor Eric Adams' former chief advisor, indicted again for alleged bribes. Ingrid Lewis Martin accepted more than $75,000 in bribes allegedly while serving as chief advisor to New York Mayor Eric Adams. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg alleged last Thursday in 4 separate conspiracy indictments that also named 8 other people, including some of the mayor's associates. This is his entire underling and his administration. Damn near his entire. Miss Lewis Martin, who was previously charged with accepting more than $100,000 in bribes, is now alleged to have conspired to steer city contracts for shelters to house asylum seekers to preferred property owners in exchange for a $50,000 cash payment allegedly accepted by her son, Glenn Martin II, who is also charged. So follow this allegation and this indictment. In a different indictment, Miss Lewis Martin is alleged to have taken $2,500 from two Brooklyn business owners, Gina and Tony Argento, in exchange for convincing city transportation officials to abandon a plan to redesign McGinnis Boulevard. Lewis Martin and the city's deputy commissioner for real estate services, Jesse Hamilton, are alleged in the third indictment to have conspired to fast-track development projects in exchange for renovations on their homes. Then, we're not done yet. In the fourth indictment, Ms. Lewis Martin allegedly conspired to obtain approval for a residential renovation project in exchange for thousands of dollars of catering for events at Gracie Mansion and City Hall. We even have catering events in this. How, if these allegations are true, how arrogant and egregious can this be? We allege that Ingrid Lewis Martin engaged in classic bribery conspiracies that had a deep and wide-ranging impact on city government, Bragg said in a statement announcing the indictments. As alleged, Ms. Lewis Martin consistently overrode the expertise of public servants so she could line up her own pockets. That's what Attorney Bragg said. Lewis Martin, who previously pleaded not guilty, is now charged with conspiracy and bribery. These are some heavy federal charges, nothing to take lightly. New York City officials and employees have a duty to serve the public fairly and equitably, and the vast majority fulfill that sacred responsibility each and every day. Today's indictment, however, alleged that the mayor's former chief advisor, this is a chief advisor to the mayor, at times in concert with the deputy commissioner for real estate services in the Department of Citywide Administrative Services, repeatedly and persistently abused her senior government position to enrich herself and her family. Department of Investigation Commissioner Jocelyn Strauber said in a statement. So this is a government employee. Lewis Martin and her son both pleaded not guilty to the latest charges. Recently, during the arraignment, the prosecutor told the judge that if you were willing to pay, Miss Martin was open for business. And as alleged in the criminal complaints, she accepted both cash and seafood. Really? Seafood. Her lawyer called the new charges politically motivated and a distortion of the truth. He maintained in a statement on Wednesday ahead of the release of the indictments that Lewis Martin has broken no laws and she is not guilty. That's what her lawyer said. Despite a lifetime of service as a law-abiding public servant, Ingrid is being forced to enter court with little information, he said in the statement. What she does know is this, that she has always served the city with integrity, and she will firmly plead not guilty to every charge. Mayor Eric Adams, who is now running for re-election, and I don't know what for, as an independent instead of a Democrat, has not been accused of any wrongdoing, a spokesman said for his campaign. While Ingrid Lewis Martin no longer works for this administration, she has been a friend and colleague of the mayor for over 40 years, and he knows her as a devoted public servant. She has declared her innocence, and his prayers are with her and her family. Todd Shapiro said in a statement, Mayor Adams also recognizes that Jesse Hamilton has pleaded not guilty like anyone accused. He is entitled to the presumption of innocence. His commitment to New Yorkers is unwavering. No distraction will ever take his eyes off the ball or his dedication to this great city we call home. Ms. Lewis Martin resigned from her position days before surrendering on bribery and money laundering charges back in December of 2024. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office probe is separate from the federal corruption charges that were brought and then subsequently dropped against Adams. The mayor was indicted last year in the Southern District of New York on 5 counts in an alleged long-standing conspiracy connected to improper benefits, illegal campaign contributions, and an attempted cover-up. The Department of Justice moved to dismiss Mayor Eric Adams' charges, prompting the resignation of several top prosecutors. In April, a federal judge dismissed the case with prejudice, meaning it cannot be revived. The Justice Department sought to have Mayor Adams' case dismissed. The Justice Department sought to have the case dismissed to free up Mayor Adams, to cooperate with the mayor's immigration agenda, though it wanted the case dismissed with prejudice, meaning that it could be brought up again. So Eric Adams was able to skate by his criminal complaints, but the people, his underlings, the people that report to him, that have been duly elected or that he put into position as city and government employees, many of them have been caught up in the web of criminal corruption, allegedly, and Miss Ingrid Lewis Martin has to deal with charges from last year, December 2024, and these are new charges, up to 5 charges that have been bestowed upon her and her own son. What is happening with our governmental employees today? This is a tough time to be a politician in today's time. The feds are extremely busy, definitely in the Southern District of New York and all over the United States. And if you're not dotting every I and crossing every T, you could be in the web of going from being on the side of a respected politician to the other side of being criminally indicted if you're not doing the right thing at all times. There's a lot of pressure to be a politician in today's market, and you have to make sure that you are keeping your eye on the sparrow of doing what's right. Tell me what you think about this case on Miss Ingrid Lewis Martin.